Midnight in Black Hollow wasn't a time on any clock. It was a feeling, a cold breath that crawled up a man's back and whispered, "That law didn't walk these streets." Lanterns burned low, shadows stretched long, and every doorway hid someone who'd sold their conscience for whiskey money. The old barn outside town was lit like a devil's chapel that night. Men gathered shoulder to shoulder, holsters loose, hats pulled low. An auctioneer with a voice like cracked gravel banged his hammer against a whiskey barrel. "Next item," he called, "is something special. Don't ask questions. Don't speak her name. Just bid high." And that's when they brought her out. A woman, wrists bound but chin held high, stepped into the ring of lantern light. Her dress was torn, dusted with travel, but her presence was stronger than any outlaw in the room. She didn't cry. She didn't tremble. She simply stood still, silent, unmoving, as if she were studying every soul present. The crowd murmured. Some laughed. Some looked uneasy. But one man watched her different, with eyes that measured danger and truth the same way. Jace Calder. A gunslinger with a reputation carved into tombstones, Jace didn't fear many things. But something about her silence felt louder than thunder. She didn't plead. She didn't glance around. She seemed to be waiting for one man. And Jace felt deep in his bones it was him. "Start and bid, 1 silver coin." The room erupted. Men shoved, hollered, argued. But Jace didn't move. He reached slowly into his coat, pulled out a single tarnished silver coin, the last relic from a past he never talked about, and held it between 2 fingers. "1," he said. Laughter broke out. "That all you got, Calder? A silver ain't buying nothing but trouble tonight." But the auctioneer froze. His eyes flicked to the shadows behind the barn doors, as if someone unseen had given a signal. "Sold," the auctioneer said quickly. "To Jace Calder." The room went still. A deal too easy. A price too low. Some men backed away, suddenly unwilling to be near the woman or the gunslinger who now owned her fate. 2 guards shoved her forward. She stumbled but caught herself before Jace touched her. She looked up, meeting his eyes for the first time. Her gaze wasn't frightened. It was knowing. As the barn cleared out, Jace loosened the ropes at her wrists. "You got a name?" he asked. She didn't answer. "You can talk, can't you?" Nothing. Just quiet breathing and eyes that read him like a book. Then, as the last lantern sputtered out, she leaned close, so close he felt her breath on his ear. And for the first time that night, she whispered. Just 1 sentence, a sentence that froze the blood in Jace Calder's veins. "They didn't sell me to you." "Jace, they sold you to me." Jace Calder had heard threats, lies, curses, and dying confessions, but never anything like that whisper. "They sold you to me." The words clung to the air like smoke that wouldn't clear. Jace stepped back, hand drifting instinctively toward his holster. But the woman didn't flinch. She watched him with steady eyes, calm, certain, almost sorrowful. "What do you mean by that?" Jace asked, voice low. She didn't answer. Instead, she walked toward the barn doors, tugging them open. The moon spilled across her face, revealing a quiet strength, a beauty framed by dust and defiance. "My name is Mara," she said at last. "And you're not here to save me. You're here because you can't outrun what's coming." Jace frowned. "Lady, I don't run from anything." "That's exactly why they chose you." Her words hit harder than a bullet. They stepped out into the cold stretch of prairie night. The barn behind them creaked with the fading noise of men who didn't want to be near whatever fate Jace had just purchased. Crickets went silent as if the land itself was listening. Jace kept a careful distance. "You know my name," he said. "How?" Mara didn't look at him. She gazed toward the dark hills as if expecting something or someone to appear. "I've known your name a long time," she replied. "Long before tonight. Long before this valley whispered it like a warning. That still ain't an answer." She finally faced him, her expression softening. "Do you believe in debts?" Jace called her. "I believe in settling them." "Good," she whispered. "Because one is coming due." Jace felt a chill he hadn't known in years. Gunslingers didn't fear ghosts, but they feared the truth. Truth spoken by someone who shouldn't know it. "Start talking," he said. Mara took a slow breath. 5 years ago you left a badge lying on a widow's porch, a badge that belonged to a dying marshal." Jace stiffened. "That memory was buried deep, too deep. You shouldn't know about that. I know because the man who gave me that story told me you were the only one who could finish what he started," she said. He said if I ever found you, I was to bring you to the place where he fell. Jace's jaw tightened. He's dead. I know. Her voice trembled just once. He was my brother. Silence swallowed the prairie. The wind picked up, stirring dust around their boots like restless spirits. Jace didn't move. Something between anger and guilt twisted inside him. You were auctioned, he said slowly. Sold like cargo. Not sold, she corrected. Hidden, disguised, protected until the right man showed up. And that man is me? She nodded. Because the men who killed my brother are coming for you next. Jace felt the weight of the world drop onto his shoulders. What do they want? Mara stepped closer, her eyes reflecting moonlight and fear. They want the truth buried forever, she said. And you, Jace? You're the last man alive who knows it. The moon slipped behind a thin veil of clouds as Cole and the silent woman, now known as Lyra, made their slow way across the empty plains. Her earlier whisper still echoed in his mind like a match struck in a dark room. They didn't sell me to you. They sold you to save themselves. Cole tightened his grip on the reins. Start talking, he said quietly. All of it. Lyra kept her hood low. Those men weren't running an auction. They were offering you a bargain, one you didn't know you were accepting. You weren't buying a woman. You were stepping into a blood feud. Cole felt the air thicken. Whose feud? Mine, she answered. And yours now. She turned her head slightly, and he finally glimpsed her eyes, sharp, storm gray, watching the horizon like danger lived in the wind. They knew a Reaper scout was coming tonight, she continued. They didn't want to fight him. So they chose you, a gunslinger with a reputation fierce enough to scare off a wolf pack. Cole huffed out a breath. So they used me as bait? No, she said softly, as protection. Cole shook his head. Protection? You barely know me. Lyra finally faced him fully. I know more than you think. I know your name is spoken like a curse in 5 towns. I know you've survived things that kill ordinary men. And I know the Reapers fear only 2 things, God and Cole Thorne. The wind stilled. Why do they want you? Cole asked. Lyra inhaled slowly. Because I'm the last witness to something they buried, something they killed for. And because I escaped, Cole's jaw clenched. And now they're coming. Yes, she whispered. Tonight. A distant howl cut through the plains, low, human, stretched with a hunger that didn't belong to wolves. Cole spun in his saddle. 3 riders appeared on the ridge, black coats snapping like wings. Reapers. Lyra's hand slipped from her cloak, revealing a thin dagger carved with symbols. Stay behind me, Cole ordered. No, she said firmly. You'll die alone, but with me, you might live. Before he could argue, the Reapers rushed down the ridge. Cole drew, firing 3 shots clean and bright. 2 riders dropped. The 3rd dodged, circling like a shadow. Lyra leapt from her horse, cloak flaring. The remaining Reaper charged. She moved with eerie precision, blade flashing once, silent, deadly. The rider fell without a scream. Cole stared. You're no victim, he muttered. Lyra met his gaze. I never was. Silence settled, heavy, final. She stepped closer, voice trembling but certain. Your fate changed tonight, Cole. Not because you bought me, but because you saved the one person the Reapers fear losing. Cole swallowed. And what happens now? Lyra pulled back her hood. Now, she said, we go finish what they started. The night around them seemed to shift. Danger ahead, but something else too. A partnership born in silence and sealed in a single whispered sentence.